What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And various English newspapers are linking Raul Jimenez with Liverpool. Apparently Liverpool are monitoring him and seeing how he does this season, and we will make a move in the summer if the transfer fee is right. I think that Raul Jimenez would be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. Yes, he's 29 years old, but he scored 23 goals in all competitions this season. 14 of them came in the Premier League. He's up there in the top scorers charts, and he's a very accomplished, experienced striker who actually has his best goal scoring season right now. So he's kind of like a late boomer in terms of he's having the best season of his life. Even in Mexico, when he played for Club America, he only scored 19 goals in his best season. And last season he scored 17 goals where he was on loan at Wolves from Benfica. They made the transfer permanent in the summer, and this season 23 goals in all competitions is brilliant. 14 in the Premier League, 9 goals in the Europa League. And I think Raul Jimenez, what he said in a recent interview is very interesting. He revealed that he wants to join a traditional big club and play in the Champions League in his career. So let's listen to what he says. But first, guys, if you enjoy these transfer news videos, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. And I'm in such a good mood because Liverpool are playing later today. It's the Merseyside derby, Everton against Liverpool. Really pumped for that. We will preview that game a little bit more in this video as well. So Raul Jimenez recently spoke about the transfer speculation, saying it is something very cool. I do not know if these transfer speculations will be true, but they are rumors. But since they are talking about me, different teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, they are teams that are important in football history. It is an incredible thing to be on the radar and on the lips of those teams. It is something good for me to continue growing, making an effort, taking it as an incentive so that if possible I can achieve it and make a transfer to one of these traditional big clubs. My dream team, whatever one that signs me, would be incredible. So he's saying that basically any big club who will sign him, that will be his dream team. And I think Raul Jimenez would absolutely love it to sign for Liverpool. It could be difficult because he still has 3 years left on his contract, and Liverpool are a little bit lacking in the transfer funds department. But once the financial situation clears up, Liverpool will have funds to spend, and also we will sell players like Xherdan Shaqiri, Dejan Lovren, Marco Grujic, Harry Wilson, players of that caliber. So we can generate up to 70-80 million pounds from those player sales. And I found an article in one of the English newspapers where Raul Jimenez says that he is a Liverpool fan, which is quite amazing. I didn't know this. My dream is to score in front of the Klopp, Raul Jimenez said, and also he revealed when he became a Liverpool fan. The Miracle of Istanbul was the most amazing game I had ever seen, and long before the end I decided Liverpool would be my team. 14 years ago I watched the English team in a big match for the first time, and I just thought Liverpool were amazing. I didn't start out that night wanting them to win. I didn't favor either AC Milan or Liverpool at kickoff, but when Milan went 3-0 up, I wanted Liverpool to score just to keep it interesting. They not only scored once, they scored again and then scored again. Steven Gerrard was amazing, and as everyone knows, Liverpool tied up the final at 3-3 and then went on to beat AC Milan on penalties. Afterwards, I began to like Liverpool, especially Steven Gerrard, who refused to accept defeat. I really admired that. It showed me English players and English teams play until the last second of every match. They never give up. They always try to score the next goal, and they defend the goals they score with their lives. Gerrard is an all-time favorite of mine. I used to follow him for Liverpool and the England national team. He was the captain, their leader and inspiration, along with Frank Lampard for England. And that is brilliant. I mean, Raul Jimenez is a Liverpool fan, and of course many people I think became Liverpool fans on that famous night when Liverpool came from 3-0 down to win the Champions League. It's one of the most incredible comebacks in football history. And when Liverpool overturned a 3-0 deficit and knocked Barcelona out in the Champions League, this is what Raul Jimenez said afterwards. I knew Liverpool would be in with a chance because they always give it 100%. It took 45 minutes in Istanbul. At Anfield they had 90 minutes to come back from 3-0 down. My feeling was, if they could do it 14 years ago, why can't they do it again? Big historic football clubs have the ability to come back even when everything seems lost. There is a strong inner belief within every player and also the fans. And before Wolves played Liverpool at Anfield, he said this: "I know the phrase to go into the lion's den, and Sunday's game feels like that now." Of course, he said this just before that game. We are in for a very tough match. It's going to be extremely difficult, as Barcelona discovered, but we have a very good team and we can cause anyone problems. Oh my goodness, I just love it that a really established Premier League striker is talking about Anfield and Liverpool like a Liverpool fan would, and it would be brilliant. And it would be brilliant if Raul Jimenez signed for Liverpool. And he continued, "It will be the first time I've seen Anfield, and I can't wait to experience playing a team with Liverpool's incredible history there on such a massive occasion. The atmosphere is going to be incredible, but I love playing in big games against great players, famous clubs. It's a shame for Liverpool that they already have 94 points, the most in their history, and they could finish with 97 points and still finish second and lose everything. That must be difficult for them to play so well all season and only lose one game in the Premier League, yet still potentially come up short because one other team was a little better." Oh, don't tell me about it, Raul Jimenez. I just got flashbacks from last season. I mean, last season Liverpool had an incredible season, winning the Champions League, getting 97 points, and still ended up not winning the title. So this season, I mean, come on Liverpool, just win 2 games and let's finally confirm that first Premier League title. It will be such an amazing achievement for everybody connected to Liverpool. And Raul Jimenez also said, "Imagine that right now I tell you one, and in the end I go to a rival of that team. They will really reproach me all the time. I will get into trouble." And that's actually a good thing, a good and sensible thing to do. Imagine if he says, like, Manchester United is my dream club, and then he goes to Liverpool, and the Liverpool fans will be absolutely furious with that comment. So I think that all these players who want to play for big clubs one day, they are reluctant to name their favorite teams, unless you are, of course, a kid just coming through, like Kylian Mbappe said that his dream club was and is Real Madrid growing up. But if you say it like very early when you are 17, 18, I think that's fine. But if you say it when you are like Raul Jimenez, 29, waiting to go to a big club, he doesn't want to alienate any club and any fan base. So I think that's it. It's a sensible thing for him not to say which club is his dream club. And not only did he get 23 goals in all competitions, by the way, how Raul Jimenez just scored last night in Wolves' 2-0 victory against West Ham United, and Wolves are actually in with a shout to finish in the top 4 or the top 5. Even 5th place could qualify for the Champions League because of Manchester City's Champions League ban. And I will be honest, out of all the teams, I want Wolves and Sheffield United to finish in 4th and 5th place. I mean, it would be absolutely beautiful. At the moment, of course, Chelsea are favorites to finish in 4th place. But if Wolves put a good run together and they have some winnable games coming up, they are playing Bournemouth, Aston Villa, teams like that who are fighting at the bottom against relegation, and Wolves are better than those teams by a country mile. So if they win those games, they could be in with a serious shout to finish in the top 4, because all the teams around them are like faltering. Man United, Tottenham played out a 1-1 draw. Arsenal lost to a last-minute winner to Brighton. I want to talk about that game because that was very interesting as well. And not only does he have 23 goals, he has 10 assists as well. So he can provide goals and get assists and not just score them, which is fantastic. And it shows that he's a team player. And he would be, I think, a good fit for Liverpool. And what is pretty strange to me, looking at Raul Jimenez's career so far, is that yes, he had some great goal-scoring seasons in Mexico when playing for Club America, but then he went to Atletico Madrid, And yes, he was still a pretty young player back then in 2014-15, but he only scored 1 goal in 27 games for Atletico Madrid. Wow, that's actually a shocking record for a striker. Then he signed for Benfica and he had a little bit of a better season, but still 12 goals in 45 games is not something that you should shout about. And then he scored 11 goals the next season and just 8 goals in the 2017-18 season for Benfica. In 43 games, just 8 goals. I mean, where does this form come from? It's pretty amazing. Maybe he's more suited to the Premier League and maybe the passion of the English fans brings the best out of Raul Jimenez. But it's quite strange that in the same amount of games, he scored 17 goals last season, and for Benfica he scored 8 goals. And apparently the Portuguese league is a lot easier than the Premier League. So can somebody explain this to me, because it's pretty weird, and that's why probably Raul Jimenez wasn't like a very well-known striker in European football before he signed for Wolves, because he just didn't put up the numbers that would make him pretty famous. And of course he's also a Mexico international. He scored 24 goals in 81 appearances for the Mexican national team, but his best year came in 2019. Last year he scored 8 goals in 12 games for Mexico, which is absolutely amazing record. And that's why I said that he's a late boomer, kind of, that he is now having the best seasons of his life, and previously his numbers weren't up there with the very best, but now he's up there with the very best of the Premier League. And last season, not only did Raul Jimenez score 17 goals, but he also got 8 assists, so even he improved even on last season. Now he has 23 goals and 10 assists, absolutely brilliant. And James Pearce, a Liverpool-based journalist, said that everybody at Liverpool have been raving about how good Naby Keita has been in training. And if you watch the highlights of the Liverpool's training friendly game against Blackburn, Naby Keita scored, got an assist, and he looked unplayable and on fire. This is what James Pearce said. The staff have been raving about how good Keita has looked in training. Let's hope he can transfer that to the actual games and stay fit for the rest of the season. I don't sense that Jurgen Klopp's patience has run out with him. He believes Keita will have a bigger role to play next season, and that's very, very important. Next season will be a huge season for Naby Keita. He needs to stay fit, and hopefully he can deliver goals and assists in this Liverpool team. And Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool's manager, revealed that he was physically sick when he heard that null and void was on the table and that the Premier League season could be just cancelled and like it never happened. And this is what he said: "I didn't think when we went to lockdown, oh my god, that is our season, we are so close," because it was not important in that moment. I became worried in the moment when people started talking about null and void this season, because I was like, wow, and I really felt it physically. That would have been really, really hard. We don't expect to get the Premier League title as a present. We didn't want to have a points per game basis title awarded, but so we were really, really happy when it was decided that we could play again. And I think that's how pretty much every Liverpool fan felt in that moment, that we felt physically sick by even the thought of null and voiding the most incredible record-breaking season for Liverpool in the Premier League. And Jurgen Klopp also said this: "It is historic, the Premier League season now, more than ever. Give us an asterisk. Yes, do it, because it is the most difficult season ever. And the only difference is there is quite a big points gap between us and the other teams. But if you saw Man City playing the other night, you saw the team they played and saw the bench they had, where they changed 5 times and there was still no Leroy Sané on the pitch. You think, wow, that is really impressive. That is our opponent. And I'm saying we are 22 points ahead of this incredible Manchester City team, assembled by incredible amounts of money." And Jose Enrique gave an extended interview about Liverpool, and I want to share that with you guys. He's of course a former left back of Liverpool, and he has come out with some very interesting lines. This is what he said: "The way Liverpool plays is unbelievable. Being a tactician is key, but his man management skills Jurgen Klopp are great as well. Players love him. With me, he was really honest right from the start. Sometimes it hurt, but I knew he was telling the truth. And look what he did for me. He knew I was leaving, so he gave me a chance to play as a centre-back and gave me the captaincy in the cup game. I remember when he first told me that, I called my partner and said, I'm going to be the captain of Liverpool. And she said, I'm surprised. Klopp told me that I was the oldest player in the team and I deserved it. I still have that armband in my house. Being the captain of Liverpool, even just for one game, I will always remember it. It was a dark period for me, but I was very happy that day. And this just shows Jurgen Klopp's man management skills. Like, for one game, the captaincy might not mean much to Jurgen Klopp, but it meant the world for Jose Enrique that he could say when he retired, I was captain of Liverpool for one game, and that's brilliant. When Klopp arrived, he also organized a meeting with all the people who work at Melwood. Everyone was a bit surprised. What is he doing? And then he asked everyone to sit down, and we, the players, started clapping. We did this for about 15 minutes, and then he said, look, all these people, the workers, they have the same weight at this club as I do. They make your life easier every single day and allow you to focus on football. And Jose Enrique said, I've never seen anything like that before. I'm sure all the staff felt very proud. Everyone talks about players and managers, but there are so many people working in the background. Even now, when I play for Liverpool Legends, they treat me just like they did when I was a first team player. It's unbelievable, this club. Like they say, once a Red, always a Red. This is true. If you play for Liverpool, you will never stop supporting this club. It's rare to get this kind of behind the scenes insight from a player, even years after the events happened. And it's good that Jose Enrique chose to be grateful for his time for Liverpool, even though it didn't end in a very good way. Overall, he still was a really important player for Liverpool, and Jose Enrique was part of that incredible 2013-14 team, which almost won the title under Brendan Rodgers. And also, big announcement, the League Cup faces the prospect of being played without the top 7 Premier League sides next season because of the fixture pile-up caused by the delayed start of the campaign, because the dates for the Champions League and Europa League were announced on Wednesday, and it will be completed in the middle of August in a 2-week period, which means that big teams will have a lot of games to play in the Champions League, in the Europa League from England, and that could mean like almost impossible fixture pile-up with the League Cup games as well. And the League Cup, the big teams apart from Man City don't even take it seriously, so I don't think it would be a big loss for them to not take part, and it could help one of the smaller sides to actually win a big trophy, the League Cup. So I think that's a very interesting proposition. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. And this wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.